Do you ever feel like being a good teacher is just harder? That you're working really hard to be a good teacher, but you feel undervalued. You look around, there are other teachers who are not doing the amount of work you're doing. And you wonder, why am I working so hard? Or is it harder to be a good teacher? Or am I doing something wrong? Hi, I'm Michelle, founder of Thinking Math Corner, and I'm on a mission to help teachers build student thinking through productive struggle, not memorization. So, why does it feel like you're running a marathon every single day on this hamster wheel? And you look around and you see people just kind of seeming to stroll by, just out for a lovely, leisurely stroll. And you're racing and panting and trying to do everything. It's part of what comes from really, really caring. You're not doing anything wrong. You just want so badly to be a good teacher that you're putting in the hard work. This teaching thing, this teaching gig is not just a job for you. It's a career, it's a vocation. You want your students to succeed. You want your students to thrive, not just survive. The difference is that every teacher, every person has different comfort zones and different abilities to cope with stress and anxiety. And so what you see is not always the reality. And we know that in our heads, but our hearts sometimes don't know that. But you're putting in the work and you're challenging the norms and you're working for your students. And just like we want to produce student thinkers through productive struggle, what about if the struggle is a crucial part of effective teaching? I bet if you're watching this far in the video, you've probably thought that bad teaching is the easy route. Doing nothing, just kind of going with the flow, do as little as possible, stay under the radar. That being said, even if you thought that, to grow as a teacher, you need to be able to make conscious, intentional decisions on what to let go. And we all know that balancing effective teaching strategies and curriculum needs is an endless teeter-totter where we try to balance and not put too much on one or the other. Part of what makes you a good teacher is your desire to do well. Most teachers who invest heavily of their time are hindered by ideals of perfectionism, of things either looking just right, those Pinterest teachers, or wanting activities and lessons to look a certain way or to reflect a certain ideal, or students maybe even to interact with it in a specific way. But this can be a trap. We have to stay out of perfectionism. We have to embrace the idea, like we tell our students, that mistakes are how we learn. And we have to continually try and improve things in a way that don't add more on our plate. That's the last thing we need. But we do need to resolve some of that. And we need to make shifts that will decrease the time spent, but increase in what we value, in student thinking, in student perseverance, resilience, problem solving, critical thinking. I can continue. The problem with perfectionism is that it can often lead to burnout. And that's where our teachers often find themselves right before they leave the profession. A less engaged teacher is able to feel less pressure and less stress, and they're able to find a bit more peace about it so they don't burn out as quickly. So, what do we do, and what does society think about this? Our society has become very intent on putting responsibilities on teachers. We used to be the educators, and now we've become a jack of all trades, if you will. We are the nurse, we're the psychologist, we're the behavior management specialist, we're the resource teacher. We are some of those kids' best friends. We are the parent who clothes them and feeds them and does all of that stuff. We have become so multifaceted. And our students are coming to us with a bunch of more issues than they ever have before, whether it be trauma, whether it be diagnoses, whether it be family issues. It can be a plethora of things. But students are coming to us with so many needs. And oftentimes those needs have to take precedence over the instructional material, which in turn leaves us with less time to teach, hence the stress. We need to be advocates for a thoughtful, intentional education system. And one of the ways that we do that is by changing our practice in our classroom. It's doing self-care for the teacher. So now that you know why good teaching can feel so difficult and can feel so stressful, you're going to want to figure out how to be able to manage all of that in a way that's healthy for you and will lead you to enjoy teaching more and want to stay in the profession. And that's one of the reasons that I created the Think Studio membership. It's a way of teachers getting together and us working through tiny shifts. Every 2 weeks, you would receive a tiny shift challenge that's doable, implementable, and real time in your classroom. You will implement those tiny shifts, take back some of your time, and increase the amount of student reasoning that happens in the classroom. If you're interested and you think that you're one of those people that wants to intentionally and reflectively improve your practice, join us now. The link is in the description.